Me and my family just laid my grandmother to rest 2 days ago. I wanted to really make this video here, just to, share my outlook on death, because the outlook that I have and the perception that I have now, the mindset that I have now on the, topic of death, or the phenomena of death, is different than that which my, mindset used to be on it. And there was a time where, when people that were close to me passed on from this life, I let that phenomena of death, I let it, hinder my quality of life, and I let it, constrain me to a state of suffering, and it all goes back to peace of the mind, it all goes back to peace of the mind, because at the time where, the phenomena of death was constraining me in my life and was hindering me in my life, this was before I had, had a big mindset shift and come to a state of peace. So this was a time where I didn't understand how to process my feelings in the right way, and I also didn't understand the control that my mind has over my reality. Just as anything else in this life, death is only a bad thing. It's only a negative thing if you allow it to be a bad thing or a negative thing within your mind. There is no experience, there is no feeling, there is no phenomena in this life that is inherently positive. Neither is there no feeling, no phenomena, nor experience that is, inherently negative in this life. However, positivity and negativity, as I said in my Peace of Mind Thursday Thoughts, it's all a construct of the mind. It was derived from the mind. It was brought to life from the mind. It doesn't just exist naturally in life. It exists in our minds, and what we tell ourselves is positive and what we tell ourselves is negative, or any label that we try to give to our experience, any word or idea that we try to attach to our feelings and our experiences to, make sense of what it is that we're going through. It's all a construct of the mind. At the time, I truly felt like death was a bad thing. That death was a negative thing. I used to say, that every day is a good day, as long as none of my folks pass away on that day. So that was the one caveat that I had in my life. Of course, it was other things I was going through at that time, but I wouldn't go as far as to deem that I had a bad day unless if, one of my folks passed on. But what this mindset of death being a negative thing was, and death being a bad thing was one, me not having belief, and then two, I would say the circumstances around me led me to believe that death was a bad thing or a negative thing. Going to that first point of me not having belief, when I say me not having belief, I mean today in the present, I I truly believe that, every experience that we are going to experience in this life, every feeling that we are going to experience in this life, anything that this life has to offer, I truly see it all as a blessing. No matter what that experience may be, it could be me finding the love of my life, or me getting hit upside the head with a baseball bat while I'm strapped down to a chair. No matter what I have to experience in this life, no matter what I have to experience both internally and externally in this life, I truly see everything as a blessing, because every experience is going to drive growth within yourself. It doesn't matter if that experience is, like I said, something like you finding the love of your life, or whether it's something like you getting shot. Every experience, every feeling, it's all going to drive growth within yourself. It's all going to build you into a stronger person if you would allow it to, and a better person if you would allow it to. Well, quote unquote better person. I don't know. It's up to you how you look at better. You know what I'm saying? I guess how you look at stronger as well. But at the time, I didn't feel this way. And at the time, I did feel that there were certain things in this life that we experienced that were just like, why would any of us ever be put through this? What point could there possibly be of putting people through something? Like, there was a time in which, right now, I truly don't believe in coincidence. Coincidence is crazy. Right now, I truly don't believe in coincidences. I truly believe that everything was destined, and that everything that we experience here, we were meant to experience, and we were meant to, go through these things to grow into, stronger and stronger people, or just grow into whatever we're supposed to grow into by the end of our lives. And then we move on from this life and take what we learn, all the things that we learn from this life, on to the next one. Because I just feel like it doesn't make sense for literally everything to promote growth within ourselves if we don't do anything with it. Like we literally grow from everything, every experience, every single day. We grow from literally everything we experience. So I feel like it really wouldn't make sense if we don't, go somewhere else and take that with us somewhere else. Or at least if that growth that we experience along our lives, at least that should, work towards something. That should go towards something. I just don't see how the beauty of this life and everything that it provides us with, all of these experiences that it provides us to grow from, I don't see how it could mean nothing. I mean, certainly, I guess anything is possible, but yeah, I don't really see that being the case, but at the time when the phenomena of death did constrain me and, did hinder me in my life, I didn't believe in that. I didn't believe in the idea that we literally grow from everything. I felt like there were certain things, like I said, just like, what could be the point of ever putting somebody through this? Like, how could this serve any good for anybody? How could this help to, bring people to a state where they're supposed to be at in their lives? How could certain experiences ever help somebody? And, that was really how I felt when one of my close friends, Kavan, had passed away. And I believe it was May 2023, when he passed away, and me and my brother Nas, we went to his funeral. He passed at a very young age, and at the funeral, his whole family was just completely broken. And I remember everyone was just in there crying and just mourning, and literally the energy of the room, you could feel it, the energy of the room. Everybody was just heartbroken. Everybody was just shattered. And I remember his sister went up to speak, and she said, and I may be misquoting, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines of, God, I understand that you work in mysterious ways, but why did you take my brother? You know, when I seen everybody in that room, as broken as they were, as shattered as they were, when I seen what my friend's death did to his family and, you know, to those that he loved, in my mind, I'm truly like, what could possibly be the point of this? Like, how could this, you know, help anyone grow? How could this be something that was meant to be? You know, how could this be something that was meant to be when it feels so much like it literally is the opposite of what's supposed to happen? You know, I've come to realize that there truly isn't anything that wasn't meant to happen, or at least that is what I solely and truly believe, because as I said, literally everything serves to promote growth within ourselves. Even that experience, when my close friend had passed on, I grew from it. I'm sure his family grew from that experience. I know my boy grew from that experience. There has never been a single thing in my life that hasn't promoted growth within myself. And that includes any time that somebody that I love has passed on to the next life. That has also promoted growth within myself. And if we are here to eternally grow and forever grow our whole entire lives, when we reach the end of our lives, that just means that everything that we were meant to see, everything that we were meant to do, all the growth that we were meant to, you know, attain, means that we fulfilled the mission. We put a check in the box. We have seen everything in which we were meant to see. We've done everything in which we were meant to do. And as far as the mission, you put a check on the mission. You did your thing, and it's on to the next thing. All the chapters of your life, you close that book, finish the book, and it's on to writing the next one, you know? And in my eyes, that is an absolutely beautiful thing, bro. That is an absolutely beautiful thing, bro. So no, I no longer believe that death is a negative thing, that death is a bad thing. I no longer believe that if somebody I love, you know, passes on to the next life, you know, on a certain day, that makes that day a bad day. No, I don't believe that anymore. Instead, I believe that death is a beautiful thing. It's just a sign, not even a sign. I mean, it's not no sign. It's literally in stone. It's letting you know that you completed your mission. And congratulations, you've seen everything you were supposed to see here, did everything you're supposed to do here. Alright, now it's time to go on to the next thing. And, you know, in my eyes, whenever, you know, anybody that I'm close with passes away, it's only right that I hold it down around here, you know, for myself and for my family, or any of those who are struggling with the passing of whoever passed. It's only right that I hold it down for all of us, bruh. And you know what I'm saying? Make sure that they know, look, I don't want you to feel constrained to this life or feel like you need to linger around to make sure we all straight. I'ma hold it down. You go do what you was meant to do. Go on to the next thing. Go experience those new things. See those new sights that we couldn't have even imagined while we're here, and that I can't imagine while I'm here. Go see those things that we never could have dreamed of, and that I still can't dream of until it's time for me to see it. And I also want to point out another point from the Thursday Thoughts Peace of Mind video, because that Peace of Mind video, that's literally what's the word for it? I guess I don't think this is a word, but that's literally the summation of my perspective nowadays. That's literally what I live by. That's my mindset for life. So I kind of gotta refer back to it. But as I said in that Thursday Thoughts video, feelings and emotions are simply feelings and emotions. They are not inherently negative. They are not inherently positive, just as I was saying earlier in this video as well. And feelings and emotions cannot hinder you in your life, and only have but so much power, unless if you give those feelings and emotions more power than they inherently have. And at the time when the phenomenon of death used to constrain me and used to hinder my quality of life, I used to feed into the feeling of sadness. I used to feed into the feeling of, missing somebody, by putting the negative attachment on those feelings, by making sense of those feelings, by thinking of them in a negative light, and by thinking of them in a negative light and constantly having them in my mind, I just made those feelings more and more intense for myself, and it just hindered my quality of life more and more. Whereas today, as I am dealing with the passing of my grandmother, as soon as I got the call, my dad called me, told me, my grandma took her final breath. I felt that initial feeling of sadness. I was actually working on, making some lyric videos for my new album that came out, and I just went ahead, paused what I was doing. I scooted my chair back. You know what I'm saying? I processed the feeling of sadness that I had in the moment. I embraced the feeling of sadness, and I accepted the feeling of sadness when I heard that. And then I also felt a feeling of happiness as well, and I accepted that and embraced that as well. And I sent a message to my grandmother. Who knows if she was able to hear it? I don't know how that would work. Not exactly sure how the afterlife works, but I said, Grandma, if you may hear this message, I hope that you do hear this message. I hope that it reaches you. And I just relayed my love for her, and just told her I'ma hold it down. You know what I'm saying? I told her I'ma hold it down and take her with me everywhere that I go as well. So, boom, salute. But yeah, it's been a little bit over a week since my grandma passed on from this life, and her passing has not constrained me in my life, nor has it hindered me in my life, because like I said, of course, I love my grandma. I love my grandma to death. Come on now. But of course I'm gonna feel sad that I can't make any more memories with her in this life, and I won't be able to, go over her house and see her like I used to be able to. So yes, that is a cause for being sad, but there is so much more to feel happy about when you understand that that's alright. She literally completed her mission. She seen everything she was meant to see, did everything she was meant to do, and now she's about to go see something. And like I said, I can't even fathom right now. I can't even dream now right now. So, hey, that's a beautiful thing. So, when I heard that news, it might sound crazy, but I had a lot more to smile about than I had to cry about. And of my sadness, I'll accept the feeling everlasting. I said that in one of my songs, but real talk, of my sadness, um, of my loneliness, of my fear of any, emotion that the average person would deem negative, I accept all of those feelings for what they are. They're not negative. Um, those feelings are simply just feelings, and those feelings are a blessing. Whenever they come into my life, I look at them as a blessing. So I accept those feelings, I embrace those feelings, but I don't feed into those feelings. I don't feed into those feelings by placing an attachment on those feelings and trying to make sense of those feelings and constantly thinking about those feelings. I accept it into my life, embrace it, and just as it comes into you, feelings flow out of you. So that's what I've allowed the feeling of sadness, the feeling of, missing my grandmother to do, and no, I am no longer constrained nor hindered in my quality of life by the phenomena of death, nor by the phenomena of anything in this life. I cannot be constrained nor hindered unless if I allow myself to. And I don't see myself allowing myself to. So, you know, certainly I'm going to keep it solid forever. You know how that go. But I really wanted to just come on here and make this video, for anybody that may find value in hearing my perspective and hearing what I've went through and how I got to the point where I am today. I hope that this video may, help some of you out when going through the experience of losing a loved one. I hope that this video and every video, every song, every piece of art that I put out to the world, I hope that it will inspire you all to grow and to be better and to be able to navigate through life better. So it's a beautiful thing if this does just that. I certainly hope that it does. And yeah, I'm gone.